Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us that know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we tell their story. Good evening and welcome to McStabber Studios, Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shangy McStabber.
And I am Mama McStabber, and tonight I'll be playing Jacqueline Duran of Clan Ventrue.
Good evening. Tonight, without a buffer, I am Ivy Raven, and I play Genevieve Schutz of Clan Gangrel.
I'm Murin, and I'm playing Roscoe Acres, Clan Tremere.
I'm Timber Brad 411, and I'll be playing Nicholas Bowens of Clan Hecata.
Welcome everyone to Season 10, Episode 3. Obviously, Mischievous Red isn't here tonight. I guess Isabella was a little more shook by what happened than everyone suspected. But when we were last with this coterie, they met with Loden in the Chicago Central Library, discussed what they wanted for supporting him in praxis, though, let's be fair, this coterie doesn't plan to do anything of the sort. They're just playing the politics game. But they also met another strange kindred, Corey, and that same night. And then, unfortunately, Isabella was summoned by the madam to pay a boon that was owed. A boon that involved going to the Succubus Club and putting some pomegranate juice on Helena and leaving a sprig of mint in the back of her club. And then finally, Jackie went to speak with Prince Jackson about the upcoming praxis. The events tonight, of course, a few days later. Some time. But we're going to open up. Ginny, you're heading over to the Four Seasons to go meet with somebody. You've arranged a meeting with Primogen Khadijah.
That is correct. Ginny will probably just drive herself, just for ease of access, ease of everything. So,
okay. When you arrive, and when you go to get on the elevator up to the penthouse suite, you're not alone on the elevator. Khadijah's helper, Aisha, is there, leaning all casual against the wall, closed a little bit disheveled tonight.
Been out partying?
Well, always. How you doing?
I'm all right. Been partying myself a little bit, so it's good to see the city hasn't run all of us down to no fun having nothings.
Oh, it's never gonna break me down like that. At least not I've been told until I get older. A lot less fun when you get old. I don't see how that would matter. I'll be young forever, but
I mean, everybody ages differently. Everyone has their glory moments, and then sometimes you get better with age or whatever.
that's what they
I don't know.
say.
I will give you a little tip. Just so you know, I'll keep it on the down low though. You never get too old for Burning Man, so just keep that in mind.
Isn't most of Burning Man in the daylight, though?
Nah, really flares up at night.
Yeah, but they use fire a lot.
Yeah, still pretty. It's still pretty. Look, you
I'm
don't
missing
have to be.
something here. I'm missing something.
No. You're not missing anything. I'm telling you, like, if you ever get the chance, go see Burning Man.
I'll make a note of that.
If you ever come through Vegas, and I am there in Vegas and not here in the slumming it in Chicago, hit me up and I'll take you to Burning Man.
Okay. You heard from Lamar lately?
No, I tried to contact him because I was doing a trip out to Vegas. I thought maybe he could bop out and hang out, but I didn't hear back from him. So
He needs to come back. He was supposed to go with me to that blood club I heard about.
oh,
The blood rave? He was going to go with me.
Did you find it?
Surprisingly not yet, but I'm
Mm,
close.
close.
Yeah, I've heard the secret is there's a club over in Boys Town that is the key.
Mm. Yeah, I'd be careful because I know someone who apparently has run blood raves in other cities, and they have a blood hunt on their head. And I think they're in Chicago right now, but they hang out. What is it? Can't remember what her name was. She said, why is it? It's right there on the tip of my tongue. She's a tattoo artist, I think. I can't remember. Don't worry about
Painted
it.
lady?
I would. Maybe that's who it is. I would just be wary. Because
Yeah.
I don't know.
She leans close to you. I heard you just gotta get in close with Azuli over at her house of Lilith, and she can get you the invite in.
I hadn't heard that one, so
That's what I heard.
well, you are obviously more connected with the party scene than I am. So
I'm just connected to the drugs scene. Speaking of which,
oh, you're gonna bust my balls on that one now?
I've heard you've been edging a little bit into that territory.
No. All I'm doing is offering some choice, premium, not from Chicago sourced goods for specific individuals occasionally because they need it to spice up their dull unlives.
That sounds high class.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Make a deal with you then. You can have the loop.
The loop.
I won't muscle in there. Do keep yours mostly in the loop. That way you don't muscle into my territory because I've made a lot of gains lately.
So I shouldn't give them to any anarchs?
Oh, no, I'm fine with that.
Okay, because I think the last person I gave a sample to was an anarch. So
I'm talking mortal people.
Oh, I'm not giving to mortals.
Oh, okay then.
No. Like I said, I was being sincere when I said this is purely to enhance the unlife of individuals who are stuck in a malaise.
Yeah, just doing what I always do. Come into town, muscle in, take over the drug trade. So we move to another town, and I'll go take over that drug trade.
I gotcha. Well, if you go to Vegas, you would probably have competition there from me. So If you're gonna muscle in Vegas, then I guess we'll have to butt heads when we get to that point. So
It depends on where Khadijah goes. I don't think she's planning to go anywhere anytime soon. Oh, shit. The elevator's here already. Damn it.
Well, hey, it was fun talking.
Yeah, I'll have to come visit you sometime at either your restaurant or your hotel.
Either is fine. Also, so Ginny has a smaller baggie because she's realized that she should not give out a huge baggie to every person, and she just kind of slips it to her. And she's like, "Here, this is what I'm offering to people. Give it a whirl. You can't use it as is, of course. I assume you know how this works since you're pushing. So
yeah,
okay,
she looks
just
at
making
it,
sure.
looks at you, looks at it, tucks it in her front pocket. I'll see what I'll let you know what I think later.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Feedback from a professional is always welcome.
Now, the boss is in there. She's knowing her, she's probably sitting back on one of her couches. Oh, sorry, her divans in there. Her settee. So fancy.
I mean, hey, at least she doesn't have like a lazy boy in there.
Those are surprisingly comfortable.
They can be. Not so comfortable when it's actually a lazy. Never mind. That was a weird weekend. We're not going into that. You have a good evening.
And she gets a strange look. Yeah. Wow.
Hey, look. I came to Chicago. I tried to play it real tight and close to the vest, but I've let it loose now. I'm the fucking party gang role. Or something. I am something, and it is getting off this elevator.
Good plan. And as you step off the elevator, she follows you at first to open the door into the main area and then goes back, and you see her get back on the elevator. Apparently, her whole job tonight is elevator duty. And when you step into the room, Khadijah is lounged out on her settee tonight. But as soon as you come in, she stands up. Hello, Genevieve.
Good evening, Primogene Alkindi.
Oh, we're in private. You can just call me Khadijah in here.
Khadijah. I appreciate the informality.
Do we need formality tonight?
No, I don't. I hope not. I don't know. I'm never really sure. Honestly, it's kind of loosey-goosey where I'm from. And so I'm never sure. I try to play what I believe is what they expect you to do in a situation or a city like Chicago. So it's I'm never really sure.
Aisha's been telling me I need to loosen up a little. We're not in the homeland right now, and we should adapt a little bit better to the customs of the city we are in.
I don't know. Chicago should be pomp and circumstance to a degree. It's the jewel after all, but I think only when it's necessary, if that makes sense.
Yes, well, have a seat. I know
Ginny
you didn't
also.
ask for a meeting just to talk about the stuffiness and the pomp and circumstances of Chicago.
Oh, no. Actually, well, okay. In a sense, yes, but broadly speaking, not really. So I'm not sure if you've been informed by the prince or anyone else that there is a Praxis war brewing.
Not by the prince.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if the prince would, but I didn't know it. I'm assuming it had been talked about. Just so you know, I'm not great at playing like the little slow chess piece stuff. So I'm just going to lay my cards out. I'm not very good at poker either for this reason. So there's two people involved. You've got former Prince Loden and former Prince Maxwell. Maxwell has been going around telling people his name is Benjamin, though. So depends on who you meet or how you meet him. But Maxwell is playing an interesting game in that he's just trying to get people to support him by not supporting him, by not getting involved.
I've heard
Loden on
from my sources, I've heard the same kinds of things about Maxwell.
Well, he believes himself a shrewd businessman, but really he just sees everyone as tools to be used and thrown away, which my compatriots and I found when he offered up one of the anarchs to us. So
That has its uses, but I
Hmm.
find it tends to cast aside something useful way too early.
makes sense.
As the
Loden
other
on
one
the
would be
other.
Loden's problem.
Yeah.
See,
Loden
that is where
not.
Jackson made a mistake.
Oh,
You make sure one is dead when you go to supplant them. I guess that would also be Loden's mistake. Exile of a vanquished foe is not the best of plans. Certainly not how we operate.
well, everybody tries to do what they think is the right, but apparently when I came to the city and when you came to the city, former Prince Loden was crazy. He was a madman wandering the city, not really wandering the city. He was doing stuff, and he's healed himself now. So he is back to his full wits and potential capabilities, I guess.
My understanding is it's not saying a lot.
Well, I guess the main reason, to be blunt, is I came here because I wanted to warn you for your own safety. I'm not saying you can't take care of yourself, but Loden's plan, no matter what he is selling to people, is he is telling people who are not currently either he believes connected to the Primogen or Primogen themselves. He's planning on cleaning the Primogen cancel out if he wins his Praxis War.
Does he have an army that I don't know of?
He had an army when he was crazy. I mean, it was mostly homeless people and some. Apparently, he had a shitload of just like random kindred that he had created. But
I'm not worried about him. Unfortunately, I do not feel either one of the contenders for the throne are going to approach me. Being Banu Hakim has attached a certain reputation to our clan, one that involves adhering to the letter of the law. I have made agreements with Prince Jackson that is quite public to many in the Primogen Council. I am, well, as close as you could get right now to uncorruptible for a set period of time.
well, I mean, that's excellent to hear. I guess I wanted to put the warning out to my Primogen that if, yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know what would happen. It just, the way he talked about it, it sounds like he's planning on killing all the Primogen if he takes control because he wants to clean house and start fresh because he's got an axe to grind with a couple of them. So
My understanding from our clan's previous interactions with him, even before he was not what I would call stable, he holds his grudges quite excessively. I'd imagine anyone who had opposed him before, he plans to sweep clean permanently.
Also, I mean, I don't think he's gonna have an easy time considering there's some ancient ones backing some of the backing a Primogen. Actually, no, backing two Primogen? I don't know.
What do you know of that?
I know you don't go to the Succubus Club.
Well, of course.
You don't go near Critus because, well, don't take any children around Critus. But just stay away from Critus in general. He's backed though by the one who resides in succubus clubs, like arch enemy or whatever. So
Is that where Jackson got that necklace from?
yes.
Interesting. And quite interesting, actually. It explains a few things.
That he's become more savvy overnight.
No,
Oh, okay.
things I'm not going to go into detail about.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. No. I wasn't saying that Loden would be able to follow through on his threats very easily, considering these individuals could step out and just be like, fuck you to him. But I just wanted to let you know, since I didn't figure you were underneath the thumb of one of the old ones. So just in case.
Now, I'm sorry to explain this to you, my dear, but we're all under the thumb of an old one somewhere.
Look, you just don't tell yourself that. You just pretend like it's not the case, and you just kind of keep on trucking.
I am an emissary of the Shira. You can bet I report to someone.
Mm.
We all do somehow.
That's fair.
I will make a note of what you said, and I will make sure my security is taken seriously.
Also, you might want to let your child be, tell her to stay safe, because I tried to warn her, but I know she's looking into the blood raves. There's a individual in town who runs blood raves, and I'm pretty sure she'd probably give your child a run for her money. So
I'd rather not warn her. That is one of the many tests.
oh, well, that's fine. I just sorry. I don't know how you guys do everything. I'm used to just getting thrown out of my fucking ass and figuring it out on my own. So I'm just trying to be
She
a
has
better.
to learn.
Oh, well. You sure you guys aren't gangrel? Like
We value self-sufficiency in many things. As she is young, she needs, how was it termed? I heard it at one point. She has to burn herself on a stove to learn not to touch the fire.
I gotcha.
And if it consumes her, I'll just look for a new child.
It's pragmatic. So nothing wrong with that. I get it, sort of. Hey, to each their own, you know? That's the fun of living on.
We've always been a harsh clan. And after the schism, we had to become much harder than we were. There's no place for those who can't handle their situations on their own in these modern nights.
Well, it's gonna get real bad in Chicago before it gets worse. So, or wait, before it gets better. It might get worse.
It could always get worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, before I take my leave, the Queen of the Underworld's in town, so you might be careful of that too. She can shadow dance, it looks like. Or maybe, I don't know. She did something. She came out of fucking nowhere. We were at a library, so I'm assuming. But heads up.
You've met her.
I mean, hot chick. Yeah, maybe.
And you still remember her.
I mean, we were in Elysia, so
Remember what I said about burning yourself on a hot stove? With one as old as that one, the rules of Elysia do not apply. The rules of
getcha.
Elysia only apply to those who subject themselves to the tower's authority.
That's fair.
She is... How can I explain it? She is before the tower, so she feels her will takes precedence.
Good to know. Good to know. I'll make sure I keep my guard up then. So it's yeah. I don't know. Everyone thought I was crazy for saying she was hot, but you know.
I've heard that described. I don't know that there's many in the city who would know her. We know of her.
Sweet. I don't know. I was just, like I said, I figured I would come blow in, put my cards on the table and blow on out. So, you know.
You've actually given me a very useful piece of info that I'll have to relay up. We thought she was still sleeping.
Ah. Well, hey, happy to help.
Thank you. Not that we're going to be able to do much here.
I'm planning on staying away from her going forward, of course, because I have a rule that even if they are easy on the eyes, no touchy. So, yeah.
I never understood the easy on the... Well, I think maybe I once did understand easy on the eyes. One of the things you lose over time, I guess.
I guess I'm still fortunate that I've kept it this long, so.
Be safe.
You as well, Primogen.
And she stands and actually walks you to the door. And when the elevator opened, Aisha's leaning against the wall, just grinning. And Khadijah, you see her look at her, and there's not a scowl, but it's like a flat, impassive look, like, you know, she's deliberately ignoring Aisha's kind of lounging against the wall and not just relaxing. Very informal posture as she turns and leaves you to ride the elevator with her. You didn't piss her off, did you?
Nah,
Okay.
no, I gave her a bunch of good information, and I learned some things, so it was informative for me too.
Okay, because I have to ask. She met with Annabelle earlier, and she was a bit cranky after that meeting.
Look. If Annabelle didn't have her crazy backer, she would definitely be on the list of like totally hot kindred of Chicago. But because of her backer, she's just no touchy. So I'm not surprised that she was in a bad mood.
What is everyone's fascination with stuck-up bitches? She ain't... Come on, she's not all that.
No. Look, I'm not talking about personality. I'm talking about looks alone.
Even that, she's not all that. How would we have put it? Back when I was... before all this started, give that bitch a sandwich. Tell her to eat something.
Hey, look, I lived through the age of, cocaine chic. No, I unlived to the age of cocaine chic. Still, blonde and whatever, striking eyes and all that. It's hard to beat sometimes.
Yeah, but the strung out heroin junkie, that got out of fashion in the 80s.
Yeah, but
I wasn't even kindred then.
Fashion.
I wasn't even born then, and I know that.
Come on. You got to remember, we don't die. Okay, look, forget that. Look, we don't go out of fashion, so the trends don't go out of fashion. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
And the elevator rides down. And she goes, I'll see you at some point.
Yeah, stop on by. You can always find me. If you don't find me, ask one of my my helpers and they can contact me. So
Okay,
you have a good one.
you too. And as you leave the Four Seasons, we got to flash over to Roscoe. Roscoe, where are you?
Roscoe is checking out his new digs, his new store.
And Samantha's there with you. She's eyeballing it too, going, it's obvious she's trying to be helpful, but it's mainly a lot of talking about bulletproof this and fireproof that. She has this real thing about you not burning or getting shot up again. But as you're walking around looking at the new store, a lot of stuff still being moved in during the day. You got a lot of boxes you started unpacking, those kind of things. When the door opens and a woman steps in you've met once before.
Do I recognize her immediately?
Oh, yes. There's no doubting as Corey comes in. Tonight,
hello.
She's wearing a mini skirt with a short sleeve tight top, but it's all the way up to the neck. All of it's black. And Samantha, as soon as she comes in, looks at you. Who's this?
We just recently met. No, the shop's not really open yet, just as at the moment. Is there something you wanted to speak about?
Corey looks up, looks at Samantha, looks her up and down, and gets that predator smile that you've seen from Minnie. Yes, I do have some questions for you, but I'd prefer not to speak in front of children. And you feel Samantha's hand grab your arm. And you can hear the noise in her throat as she's almost like a shattered, like she can't believe she just got called that as she steps in front of you and she opens her mouth to say something and Corey just puts a hand on her and pushes. And Samantha's not there.
Not that she didn't need to take a different tone, but what happened there? Where did you send her?
She is now being minded by some babysitters. I will return her.
Appreciate
when
it.
we're done. You and your friends are quite interesting. You've managed to learn quite a bit in this city.
Yeah. We do try to take notice of what's going on around us.
That's not the odd thing to me. You have somehow managed to avoid getting caught up in the webs of, we'll call them the two spiders in the city.
I'm not entirely sure that's the case, but we do try to stay off the chessboard.
You have not been laid claim by either one of them. I had a talk with your friend Isabella and have managed to ascertain that. I do apologize for what I did to your friend Isabella. I hope she's not too unsettled or damaged.
We've talked to Isabella since, right?
Yes.
Okay. No, she's okay. She's kind of irritated that she's missing the time.
I didn't know your positions yet. I had to talk with her. And then I wiped her mind to give it thought and to investigate some things. I hate standing here. Can we sit down and talk somewhere? Do you have somewhere we can sit?
Absolutely. Come in.
You know, these heels are hell on my ankles.
I can see. Come in. Let's relax.
And
sit
she
down.
sits down, and I'm sure you have a chair of some kind.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, what can you tell me about the spiders in the city?
By spiders, I imagine you're referring to, well, the two Methuselahs that we know about, Helen and Menelaus.
Such an odd term, Methuselah. So pompous. But yes.
To be honest, not a huge amount. Much less about Menelaus than Helen. She's made a place for herself
In the Succubus Club.
Yes.
Yes, I've learned that. She thinks she's safe in her little cubby hole. She's not as safe as she understands.
Well, from our perspective, she is safe because we know not to go there.
You think that'll protect you?
Oh, no.
What of the other one? Specifically, Roscoe. You don't mind if I call you Roscoe, do you?
No, not at all.
Okay. Specifically, where was he? You see, I've been looking for him for a while, and he eluded me. Imagine my surprise when he's here. Again.
Well, he was on an extended nap for a while, let's just say.
That shouldn't have stopped me from finding him.
He made use of certain blood magic that would even something that Isaac Tremere had never seen. Extremely powerful. It dampened the beast and made it nearly impossible to detect him.
She leans closer. What do you mean, dampened the beast?
It went away when we were in proximity to where he was laying in a state of rest. Our beast simply went away.
Did you find an altar?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
That bastard. Using that against me? Me? He never did have fucking sense.
No, the altar did come to an untimely end.
You broke it?
It was broken, yes.
That is why my friends found him now. You caused the maelstrom, didn't you?
Inadvertently, yes.
Interesting. And he let you live?
Yes, he did. He made use of us, though. He had us move him to some new location, and we have no idea what happened.
I had bits and pieces from Isabella. She didn't know all the details, which is why I was here tonight. So you don't know where he is?
No.
Who are his agents? And she leans closer. I'm asking to be polite. Don't make me ask a second time.
I quite understand the situation. Well, to deflect your question a bit, I believe that you've met Jacqueline Duran.
Yes.
She is the one responsible for our expert or masterful political maneuvering to stay out of sight. She knows quite a bit more about it than I do.
Oh, she's on my list to visit.
I mean, the most I can tell you is that he speaks to Jackson occasionally.
So he has subverted the prince. Not a concern. Anyone else that you know of?
I really don't think so. So
that
no,
gives
not
me
that I'm
enough,
aware.
though. I will have my friends watch him. Well, this has been entertaining and enlightening. Now, you did answer my question. You didn't argue. You gave me someone to speak to next, though I already knew it. That goes in your favor. But your friend was a bit cross with me. Of course, I've punished her for now. You're in luck tonight. I think I'll leave your memory intact. Oh, don't thank me all at once.
Well, I was just about to say that's very much appreciated.
I can be generous. Who would believe you anyway?
Yes, exactly.
You wouldn't tell either one of them I'm here. Probably because you wouldn't survive it.
Oh, undoubtedly.
They would destroy you out of hand. Fearing you told me too much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got other places to be. Your friend. She'll return in a bit.
Hopefully not too damaged.
Damaged. How strong are mortals these days?
She seems to be fairly resilient. She
We'll
is.
see. And she steps, and as she steps, she reaches her hand out in front of you, and there's an opening there in front of you. You hear the wind. You've seen this before. You've seen a maelstrom. As she actually steps right into the underworld. No tearing noise, nothing. It just kind of opens for her. As she steps through it and it closes behind her. What's Roscoe doing now? Samantha hasn't come back yet.
Right. And he's just sitting there. Yeah, pretty much. Thinking and just looking for the portable nail that she just used. Let's see what. I mean, he's really curious about what just happened and how she just stepped through to the other side. But there's not really much of anything that he can do to scry into that.
Do you have Oblivion Sight?
No.
Okay. You could always use Sense the Unseen.
Okay, let's try that.
Yep. That'll be resolve all specs. Yep. You can always use your Sense the Unseen. And we'll see what you get. Maybe it works. Maybe you see something. 6. Pretty good roll. You going to willpower that or you going to go with 6?
I will willpower that.
Okay. Eight. You can see 2 faint lines in the room. The spot where Samantha was pushed through, there's a very faint remnant of a line. vertical line. When you stand on end walking around it, you don't see it on its side. You only see it from the front or the back. And the spot she stepped through also has a line, though as you're watching, the line is slowly shrinking in height.
What color is it?
It's just a gray line. Based on your successes, you would guess that that's where she opened the hole and it's slowly remending itself, though it's not instant. You figure it'd be a few hours before it fully disappears.
Is there any tactile sense if I try to touch it?
Nope. Hand goes right through it.
Well, I guess he's going to spend the rest of the night trying to figure out what he's going to say to Samantha when she shows up.
She'll show up eventually, is what you were told.
Yeah, well, that to Corey, that could be in an hour, that could be a month.
It is funny how that works, isn't it? So as Roscoe's contemplating that, we're flashing over to Jackie as Etienne has driven her up to the tent city. I'll wait here at the car, ma'am.
Thank you. I know Andre is staying with him, so be on the lookout.
I will, ma'am, but my understanding is you have passage from Winnetka.
I do.
I don't think you'll start anything here.
I sure hope not, but, you know, he's not been known for his intelligence.
That's true.
But I shouldn't be long. And she steps out and walks into the tent city.
As you get to the front of the tent city, Bobby meets you.
Bobby, it is good to see you.
Yeah. Hey, you weren't expected.
Am I ever expected?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't get told.
I arrive right when I intend to.
I don't get told. I just know you weren't on the guest list for tonight. But
Add me to it.
we saw the car coming. We figured you were coming this way.
Yes. I just have some questions for Winnetka, and it should be a brief conversation.
Follow me.
Thank you.
And tonight, the camp doesn't seem to be lined up like usual. They seem to be going about their business. It's a lot more relaxed than some of the previous times. You don't know why.
Oh, that's suspicious as hell.
Yeah, it's a lot more less armed camp, more barracks party kind of a vibe.
Celebration tonight, Bobby.
No, not really. They're just not uptight.
Interesting. That's a change.
Hey, you haven't been here on a good night.
No, I haven't, obviously. I don't mind this at all.
Yeah. Nope. Well, just we'll get there.
I know.
And you see the tent that is set up there, but you're not let into it. You're led over to the bench that Winnetka is normally sitting in, though it's been flipped around and it doesn't face the water.
Faces out towards the camp now?
Yeah, it faces out towards the camp as Winnetka's leaned back in it.
Winnetka.
Jacqueline.
Yes.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you as well. It has been some time.
Please, Bobby, give us time.
Thank you, Bobby, for the escort.
And he sits back. Should I continue to call you Jacqueline or should I call you Colette?
Whichever you prefer. I don't really care. Jacqueline is just what I have gone by for years now.
You know, he tells such stories about you.
Of course, and most of them are fucking lies.
I think it's more like half. But please, have a seat next to me.
And I sit down next to him.
It's been a while since you come to see me.
It
You
has.
tend to spend most of your time with Cedric.
He's teaching me chess.
Chess. He is very good at the game.
He is very good at it.
Martin thinks he'll beat him one day.
Yeah, that'll never happen. Martin has a streak of impatience.
I never had the patience for it either.
It's understandable. Not everyone does.
I'm more of a checkers guy myself.
Now that I did not know. I would love to play you at checkers one evening.
Sure.
That I can play a lot better than chess myself.
It's a shorter game.
It is.
It's a little more brutal.
It is.
Tit for tat and all that.
It is, but it's so much fun.
Yes. I know you didn't come here to talk about checkers.
No, I did not. Nor chess, nor Josiah. I'm sure you are aware of what is happening.
Let's see. One-Eyed K is no longer One-Eyed K.
No, he is fully healed.
And his gang is gone, which tells me he is healed, he has pulled them in, and he is planning his move. Let's see. Maxwell is back to play a game.
Yep. And I have given Kevin all I can. It's up to him what he does with it. He will have to prove his worth.
Yes. So I'm going to guess. Wild stab here, you might say. You're curious where I am on this.
Exactly. Where do you stand?
Well, you know I can't stand behind Loden.
I understand.
His gang were fucking around with Clan Nosferatu.
Indeed.
Well, my
And Loden's
people.
a bastard and you can't trust him for shit.
Loden was never good for the tower.
Exactly.
He was an ineffective prince.
Exactly. He was an abject failure based on Clan Venture's opinion.
I don't even pretend to understand Clan Ventru's opinion.
It is something, let me tell you.
But you know I could never support someone who was deposed once and chose to hide rather than to keep his throne.
Mhm.
And that tells me he's not
Cowardice.
fit.
It's cowardice.
Yeah.
It runs in that line.
But the other one you say, Maxwell,
Yes.
I will tell you what I have said before. I will do what's best for the tower. My loyalty will always be what's best for the tower and best for Chicago. As long as it doesn't interfere with Clan Nosferatu. You know Jackie Clan before sect.
I understand.
It will always be that way.
I do. I've had many, many years of experience with members of your clan.
Speaking of, and he looks over to the tree not far from you all. Go away, Andre. I wish to speak with her privately. And you see Andre appear
Mm-hmm.
at the tree,
And she's just sitting there smiling.
and he looks upset as he doesn't argue with Winnetka. So tell me, what is the real beef between you and Andre?
Oh, he didn't tell you.
No, I want your side of the story, you see. Clan before sect. But when dealing with unfamiliar Nos, you need to verify
Their stories.
what you've been told to make
Yes.
sure that they understand you are not to lie to your clan.
I will be so honest with you, Winnetka, you might not even believe it.
Try me.
You know I am Colette Laurent. Short for Nicolette. Of course.
The child of Nolan Wilhelm,
Yes. But bef-
former Archon.
yes. But before I was embraced as I am, I was a woman.
Funny you say that. I was a man before I was
You
embraced.
imagine, right?
Funny how it works,
It's
isn't
funny
it?
how that works. Well, I was not only a woman, I was a mother. Antoine is my son.
That makes sense about why you tried to have him. I don't say tried. Why Cedric now guides him. I'm not pleased with that, by the way, Jackie.
I am sorry that it displeases you, but understand a mother will always protect her children.
I was teaching him to be a general. To lead.
I'm sure you were teaching him things that he needed to learn.
I'm sure Cedric will teach him the finer points of strategy.
Exactly.
Clan Nosferatu will still find a use for him.
As you can imagine, after I was embraced, my son was very important to me. As World War I broke out, I was basically commanded by my sire to leave Paris. I tried to convince my son to come with me to America. He wanted to fight. And he was a man. As much as I wanted to stop him, I could not tell him no. So my sire negotiated a deal with André, since André had no intention of leaving. That André would watch over my son and ensure his protection, with the stipulation that my son was not to be embraced.
So that is the deal that was broken.
Exactly. And André hid like a fucking coward until my sire was destroyed.
And when Eka leans back, he puts his arms way back. We are rats. Of course he did. We always hide. We always stay in the shadows.
Well, he should have stayed in the shadows instead of embracing my son.
You are upset. Tell me, Jackie, what will it take for you to cease spreading?
The truth?
Yes. There is business he is here to conduct.
Oh, that's a shame.
What will it take from me?
Nothing from you. Only from him.
I don't think he's willing to pay you anything. I think he is...
Oh, he is so bitter.
Yes. For Clan Nosferatu, I will ask you to think on it and come back to me with what you would wish to put this on hold.
Expel him from the city. He can do his business by proxy.
I can't do that right now.
Well, that's what I want. When you can deliver it, you let me know. I will cease then.
No, at least I tried.
He betrayed the wrong woman. And she gets up and
He looks at you. It's not a threat. I'm not going to take action.
I know, but understand my point.
I do. I just hoped we could find a way to temporarily. He'll get his job done with or without that, but...
It is making it more difficult, I understand.
Exactly. He is having troubles making deals in the city now.
Of course.
And I am having to expend my own political capital.
Sounds like he's going to owe you quite a lot, Winnetka.
Yeah.
Good. Make him your bitch. And she turns and leaves.
And he just starts laughing as you leave. And Bobby's not there to meet you. He gets you as you're about partway through.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, got to be careful just walking off through the camp without...
What, you think someone's going to come for me?
Yeah, actually.
I am not angry.
It doesn't matter. It's... There's rules about how far someone can get from Winnetka without an escort. And then they just don't get any further.
Then Bobby, be quicker next time. And she actually puts her arm through his... Come, let's go.
And the two of you walk from the camp. And he's just busy. You can hear him grumbling under his breath.
Oh, don't complain. You have a beautiful woman on your arm.
He's still grumbling as you all head out of the camp.
And she gets in the car and leaves.
Okay. And now, finally, we're flashing to Nicholas. Nicholas, what are you doing?
Probably taking my usual leisurely stroll past the graveyards.
I need a wits awareness from Nicholas. Concealed objects, of course, counts 100%.
Wahoo!
Five with a crit.
Fuck it.
Five with a crit. Not bad, not bad. As you're walking, going through, checking the graveyards. I'm going to keep in mind that for later.
Yeah, I think for him it's partially going over everything in his brain, with everything that's happened recently. It's like it's his comforting, quiet place to just think.
The hairs on the back of your neck are standing up tonight, and you don't know why. No clue.
Is it a familiar feeling at all?
No, but it's just odd.
Is anybody around me?
The random people walking the street. It's not a very busy street tonight, but
when the coast is clear, I'm going to throw on Oblivion Sight and then just kind of have a peek around.
okay. The streets tonight on the underworld side of things, there's not much activity at all going on. Normally you'll catch glimpses here and there peeking from buildings, but not tonight.
Odd. So yeah, at that point, Nicholas will probably take a shortcut through the cemetery instead of just like walking by it.
Okay.
Like actually walking along the roads.
And you don't hear any music being played tonight, but you're checking out the cemeteries. Oddly enough, though, Zhao, you do find in one of the cemeteries, she is not playing music tonight. You see her doing something with a gravestone. You can't really tell from this distance. She's like kneeling on the ground next to her gravestone.
Trying to see if I have something that might be amusing.
Oblivion Sights lets you see real well in the dark. It'd make the graveyard look clear if you switched it back on. I mean, you're in public, but it's nighttime.
Nighttime people aren't typically in the cemeteries.
That's true.
So once he's like actually in the cemetery and away from like most direct eyesight, he would have had it on.
She's got a piece of paper up against the gravesite as she's rubbing coal across it, or charcoal.
He'll he'll kind of like try and watch what she's doing for a little bit, but also trying to see if there's any spirits around.
You don't see any, which still is striking you as very odd.
Yeah, considering she's usually got at least one or two around her for whatever reason.
As you're
So he'll
walking up, she hears you coming, and she looks over her shoulder real quick, sees you, smiles, but then goes back to what she's doing.
And he'll just keep walking towards her. Do I recognize the name?
The gravestone looks pretty old. You can't tell that there is a name, but she's doing a charcoal rubbing of it. And as you get close, she looks back at you. I'm hoping I'll figure out who this is.
You know, the cemeteries keep records.
Only of new ones. This is an old one. I read this online at one point. You can do a rubbing of the gravestone. And if you're real careful with it, you might be able to actually read the letters after you get your rubbing done that you couldn't see with your eyes, you see?
I mean, that's true, but especially if they're fortunate enough to have a tombstone at all, most cemeteries here keep decent enough records.
I mean, that happens. Look, I can't exactly go and pull up. I can't go into daylight to even get this kind of stuff, okay? So I'm just trying it this way.
There's nothing wrong with that, but and Nicholas will like look around just to kind of try and see where they are, get an idea of where the plot is. As sort of like a note for the future, he can have someone look it up during the daytime.
You can find that, sure. Do you have a ghoul that could get that info? Hell, you work in a mortuary. You got a little bit more contacts in that industry anyway.
Yeah, Nicholas is like 95% certain he'd be able to figure out who this is already, but how have you been, Sal?
I've been doing all right. Have you asked Roscoe or anything about me playing at his shop? Now, we're going to flash back. You know for a fact, Roscoe has already talked to you and her, and she knows that she's allowed to play at the shop because actually that was, what was that, New Year's or Christmas, one of those two? I think
we've had the conversation in front of me.
Yeah, but she doesn't remember.
You know, you have a standing invitation to play whenever you'd like.
No, I don't want to assume anything.
Yeah, you can just, I mean, to be fair, that shop did burn down.
What? His shop burned down?
Yeah, it's a habit it has.
There's a story there that you're going to have to tell me at some point.
It's actually fairly quick. Roscoe makes poor decisions. His shop burns down.
I may have to rethink playing there. Oh, wait, what am I joking? I won't remember having this conversation at some point. Watch.
Has it been happening more and more?
Things are getting fuzzy. It's
like you can't trust the memories you do have?
It reminds me of a poem. things fall apart the sinner cannot hold. It's the second coming, isn't it?
Or shitty parenting.
It's like so hard to explain. There's a lot of fuzzy, but then a part of me says that that's to be expected.
While she's talking and like still like when she looks away um to like continue doing the tracing, um definitely want to um see if like throw back on Oblivion side and see if there are any spirits around her.
You don't see any spirits around her, but there is one looking at you from a building across the street, quite obviously visible. Izzy is watching you.
Well,
You kind of
hopefully
see your face change. You see something? You figure something out?
someone I used to know.
I get that feeling a lot. I see people and I'm like, I should know them.
Have you seen the man in the white suit?
When you say those words, she looks at you kind of quizzically, and then her eyes kind of glaze over.
I still have Oblivion side on.
I know.
Okay.
And she just stops talking and stares at you.
Tell him I'm tired of playing these games.
And she responds to you, but the voice, it's Zal's voice, 100% Zal's voice. But the timbre
like
is
his
not quite the
cadence?
same. Her timbre is more, whereas Zal has a bit of a, I'm not gonna say childlike, but a lot of youth in her voice.
Mm-hmm.
The way she speaks is almost as if she has a lot more experience. Message noted. And then her eyes kind of flip back. What were we talking about?
Nothing important. I saw somebody.
You see ghosts around here all the time. Well, not tonight for some reason.
Yes, it is strangely quiet.
Kind of not used to it. I'm used to always seeing ghosts somewhere.
When she went like dead-eyed, was there anything going on in her eyes at all?
No,
Okay.
completely flat.
Where are you staying at these days, Al?
I've got me a condo in the Loop.
Well, if I don't hear from you, I'll have to come by the area, check in on you.
Do that. And she actually writes a number down on a piece of paper and an address and hands it to you?
I'll pocket it, but mainly at this point, I'm expecting it to burn down.
You recognize the address, but not the... Well, you recognize the address and apartment number. It's not one, or condo number, but it's not one you've been in before. It's in Jackie's building, but it's not one you've been in before. You've been to the building enough times. You know the building listed.
Interesting. Well, I must be on my way. Do take care of yourself.
I will. I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm going to go and, I don't know, go find somewhere with more people around so I can play. I'm in the mood to play after I get done this etching.
I don't blame you. I used to do something similar many, many years ago. Very soothing.
At some point, you're going to have to show me some of the taxidermy you started doing.
At the mention of the taxidermy, he'll kind of like look around. Do you want to see something really interesting?
Last time a guy said that, he undid his zipper, and I punched him in the face and took his wallet. So just be warned before you ask me that question.
And at that point, he'll kneel down next to her and open up his medical case, and then Bob Possum will pop out.
Wait a minute. Is that what you did with taxidermy? Wait, it's moving.
Yes.
You got to show me that trick sometime.
It's very intriguing when it works as well as it takes some practice, but
Why am I going through all the trouble with taxidermy when I could just take them home and make them like that?
trust me, your skill with taxidermy is much, much better than my skill with this. He is not the first attempt.
Yeah, but look, that way I'd get friends.
You have friends, Al. You just
I don't remember them.
exactly.
Well,
And he'll like hold his hand out to her as like a handshake.
and she grabs your hand.
See, we're friends.
There we go. I have a friend. I'll take it.
Bob will be your friend too.
Is that what you did, Bob Possum?
Yes, I got the name from I got him from Matthew. He said it was a play on words. Some gentleman on TV.
Is he a happy little possum?
Certainly a happy little accident.
Now I'm gonna get back to this, and then we'll go play.
And
Take care of
actually,
yourself.
like at that point, Nicholas will just kind of like sit down like against one of the tombstones and just sort of like watch as she's doing the shading, and then while Bob's kind of like out running around them. And then after a little bit, he'll leave.
Okay.
But then sort of head out not towards where he saw Izzy, but he'll send a message through the sat phone directly to Jackie. We need to talk.
As you're sending the message, you see a spirit come through the wall of the building near you right after you send the message. It's not walking through the wall. It appears to have been thrown through the wall. You recognize the spirit as it hits the ground.
Mhm.
It is one of them that your sire had sent against the avenging angels. And then you proceed to see him set on by 3 other spirits.
Do I recognize the
No, the
spirits
others you
that are-
don't. But it's obvious that they are destroying your master's spirit. Because his body is becoming tattered, fading in places.
And then, yeah, he'll have to relay that.
Your sister, though, steps out of the building right after them and stares at you with fire dancing in her eyes. Hi, brother.
I always find it difficult what to address you as.
Is he? I am your sister as I always have been. I'm just the part you didn't get to talk to much. I'm afraid she's going to get punished after tonight. The madam isn't going to be happy with her. I'm sorry. We've been naughty tonight. We've done something bad.
Oh, you have no idea.
You have no idea. Do you know that you led them right to her tonight? Right at a time that your sire's flunkies were being taken out? She's been defenseless. Her guardians are gone. You hurt us. And now we are hurting you. Enjoy, brother. And she turns and walks right back through the wall as you hear a scream come from the graveyard.
Do I recognize the voice?
Yes, it's Zal's voice.
Oh. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that. You know what? Fuck that. I think actually I can. Give me a second.
Okay. We'll see what you're planning to do.
Uh, can't do any of the fun shroud stuff because I have to kill somebody.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the
So what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do anything right now. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you
so
going to
I
head
just-
back to the graveyard or just set off in the night?
I'll head back. I'll set off.
Okay. You set off into the night. Jackie, you get the text. What does Nicholas send in the text? We can cover that.
We need to talk.
Jackie's response?
Yes, we do. Now.
Because nobody's heard from you in days.
Yeah. He won't respond. Or he'll say, where?
Is she back at her place yet from going to see Winnetka?
Sure.
Okay. My place. I'm sure I know you're familiar.
And Nicholas will be there shortly.
And as Nicholas heads over to see Jackie, right here, everybody, is where we're going to go to break. We're going to see everybody in 10 minutes. He didn't even check on Zhao. Of course, no
she's
humanity.
probably dead.
We'll find out. See everybody in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break.
Allow me to introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? They call me King Demon, Queen of Hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins. Who is she really, blood countess? Who is she really, or je blood Bathory? I was very wealthy and powerful, a widow with political rivals, keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered, all my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, put me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory. Let's King Demon, Queen of Hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, youthful, the blood countess. Who is she really, blood countess? Who is she really, or je blood Bathory? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin. burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin, and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin, and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator, you can't remain the prey. You have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you, or is it me? Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you, or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you, or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin, and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin, and burrow within, and burrow within. So embrace the darkness, and I will help you see that you can be limitless and fearless if you follow me. We are the lions in a world of lies. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you, or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you, or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin, and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul terrify you? Or do you feel alive?
Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, now we had Ginny meet with her primogen. Aisha dropped some interesting knowledge too on there a little. I don't think Aisha realized who she was talking to with some of the things she mentioned, but it is what it is. Jackie met with Winnetka and got some insights, and also shared her point of view, though she wasn't willing to make a deal. Roscoe got to meet with Corey, and Samantha is somewhere.
She gonna come back and Roscoe be gone.
And Nicholas met with Zhao in the cemetery and then saw his sister and got told he hurt her, so she's hurting him. And, of course, Zhao screamed after that, but Nicholas is Nicholas and didn't go to investigate. Poor humanity's a bitch, y'all. And as we were ending the scene, Nicholas is on his way to Jackie's, but Roscoe has a phone call he was going to make to Jackie. So, Roscoe, we're going to cut into you calling Jackie.
Okay. So I called Jackie on the sat phone.
Yes, Roscoe, what is it?
Jackie, hope you're not busy.
I'm
I
always
guess it
busy, but I can make time. What's up?
I just had a visit from Corey, who came to talk and get more information.
Jesus, is she doing house calls to all of us now?
I think she will be, particularly to come to see you because I gave you as a reference.
Oh, thanks for that.
Sure.
Let me guess, she had questions about what those other two got their claws into.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Very good
I'll be able to
intuition.
give her some insight on that.
Okay. She was very insistent on being told the truth about what was going on. And, well, knowing who she is, I just told her what I knew.
That's perfect. Yeah, and you obviously remember it, so she was, satisfied.
Mm-hmm. Although, it's not to say that there was no casualties this evening. Samantha was with me at the time, looking at the new shop, and she took it upon herself to stand in front of me and berate Corey, which did not go well.
Is she
Samantha's
destroyed?
gone. No, Corey tells me she's not destroyed. She just had to go somewhere for a while, where she had babysitters to attend to her. I saw when Corey left.
Wait a second, Roscoe.
Hmm.
Jackie looks at the television.
Breaking news. Headless corpse found in a graveyard not far from the medical district. No reports from the police, but they're on the scene. Reporters are trying to get close to it, but they've got it blocked off.
Did they say whether it was female or male?
Female. And the reporter mentioned something about it looks old, but there's no blood. Old, but not too old. And no blood.
Shit. Sorry, Roscoe. There's a news report. There's a headless corpse of a female in a cemetery near the medical district that appears old but has no blood.
Oh, my. So I guess they caught up with her.
I am going to have to call Damien. Well, if Samantha got taken somewhere, I'm sure she'll return at some point.
Yeah, well, Corey said she would return shortly. Knowing her, that could be a few minutes to a month or more. Who knows? Time is funny for them. So.
Oh, she's going to be pissed when she gets back.
No doubt.
Be careful, Roscoe.
Okay.
Oh, my. But thank you for the warning of Corey.
Sure.
Appreciate
Sure.
it. And she hangs up. And she actually calls Damien while she's waiting on
You get, wait a minute. Do you call Damien or Star Child Studio or his label?
I'm pretty sure she has a number straight to Damien, yes?
Sure.
Okay.
Jacqueline, what's up?
There's an issue in the medical district. It is all on the news.
Yeah, we're on it. We're trying to get it under control.
Excellent. Let me know if I can assist. And she hangs up.
Nicholas, you walk in the door about this time. Or Etienne opens the door for you, I should say. You don't just walk in.
I was going to say, Nicholas is knocking. He ain't that stupid. He's stupid about a lot of things. He just walking in.
And you walk in as you see the breaking news on the TV.
And Jackie's just literally got her hand to her.
And yes, you recognize the graveyard. You were just there not long ago. Hopefully it was, well, there were a few people on the street. Hopefully nobody got a good look at you.
Tell me, is this she'll doing? And she points to the TV.
No and yes.
Explain quickly. Damien and his people are already on it.
I'm going to guess that Zal.
Female, appears old, no blood, and headless.
When I saw her, she was very much capitated. I went for a stroll and happened upon her doing grave etchings or tombstone etchings.
I know what those are.
We had a conversation. I asked if she had seen her white suited friend, at which point she became practically catatonic and just replied with message noted.
Storyteller,
Then
do I recognize that feature, that behavior? Considering my understanding of the dominate powers?
No, normally, even with a submerged directive,
you don't go catatonic.
Well, you can go catatonic, but submerged directive, they generally remember what they said afterwards.
Oh. Did she remember what she said to you during that time? That she was abnormal?
Quite the contrary. She seemed, she knew we were having a conversation, but didn't remember the conversation we were having.
That is not within the capabilities of the more subtle domination powers, unless there was a caveat that she forget at the conclusion. But I don't, that's not usually how that works, because when you do that subtle, like, implantation of an order, it has to be very specific, which it could have been triggered by you mentioning gentleman in a white suit. But every time I have seen it, individuals that have had that done to them, they recall what they said or done. Unless they have a terminal influence and kill themselves.
I don't believe this was the terminal variety, considering I'm fairly certain. Do you remember when I mentioned the group of spirits that showed up?
Yes.
So they had apparently been following me, possibly.
The ones we met in the graveyard.
Yes, possibly with the assistance of my sister, followed me and found Zal, and are probably the ones who killed her shortly after I left.
With the assistance of your sister?
Yes, I'm going to deal with that.
How?
You're not going to like this, but I think I have to visit the madam one more time.
Jackie, a line is forming in your haven. It's a gray line, very slowly.
I'm gonna flip on Oblivion Sight.
By the way, I rolled 6 with a crit on your wits auspex
Wow.
as a hidden roll.
Thank you.
You got damn close to the best you could roll.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch on Oblivion Sight.
The
As
line
soon
is
as
not
I see-
clear.
As soon as I see her do it, I'll flip mine on.
You flip yours on. There is a line appearing. With Oblivion Sight, it's kind of a lot more clear. It is slowly growing.
She looks at Nicholas and says, I'm expecting a visitor. Do not speak unless you are spoken to.
Nicholas stands there like a statue.
You've seen, not this exactly, but you recognize what it is because you've been, actually, you were down at the altar when you closed the tear in the shroud. This is an opening forming in the shroud.
Yeah, I've seen it both ways, I imagine, over the years with like Sire and everything. So it's something he'd be familiar with.
It takes about a minute or two to grow.
Oh, Jackie's just watching it with Oblivion Sight because she wants to see what's on the other side.
You don't see anything on the other side until it opens and a woman steps through it.
And as soon as she steps through, Jackie turns off Oblivion Sight.
Nicholas, you see, gorgeous blonde woman, still in a black mini skirt with a black shirt, goes all the way up to her neck. Jacqueline, now who is this?
Nicholas Bowens of Clan Hikata.
Nicholas will just like bow his head respectfully, but not say anything.
Is that what the Clan Hikata, is that what they calling themselves now?
They are. He is of the Cappadocian line.
And she steps real close to you. Interesting.
Descendant of Roger de Camden.
That is what I can tell. It's been a while since I've spoken with him.
He's in Scotland.
You are full of surprises. What is someone of de Camden's line doing in the city? I was under the impression that your kind were gone.
Is it clear that she's addressing me and not?
Oh yeah,
talking
she's
to
looking dead
Jackie?
at you.
Okay. Well, that doesn't mean anything. Like, you can stare at somebody and be talking to somebody else. I came here on request of a colleague.
And she steps back from you and smiles, and it actually, I can't say that it doesn't touch her eyes. She seems genuinely amused. Good evening, little brother.
Good evening.
You haven't told him about me. Interesting. Oh, this is being a rather fun night for me, I guess.
This is Corey.
Does that ring any bells at all to me?
I mean, you are Kata. I am sure you've studied most of the underworld myths at various points.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I believe also in history known as Queen Persephone.
Such a silly name.
Immediately, like, as that happens, Nicholas will bow, but like lower. Like, it's more of a full bow instead of like a thing. It's just like, my pleasure.
I don't know why they bothered to change the name. He never called me that.
No?
No.
Well, I have to ask, did he steal you or did you go on your own volition?
Let's see, let's reenact what we said before. Yes and yes.
I love it. I love it. Please make yourself comfortable.
Nice place here.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for the intrusion.
I was expecting you.
I didn't know who to call.
That's all right.
Have I interrupted something? I distinctly heard something about a sister, and it seems there's a dead body on the TV.
Yes, well, needless to say, the Giovanni had pissed some spirits off in the city.
I know.
Mm.
A word gets around on the other side.
The body is a Giovanni child.
A Giovanni, you say?
Yes.
No loss.
Agreed. Please.
Damn upstarts, if you ask me.
What can I do for you, Corey?
Oh, well, I've met with your friend Roscoe. I've met with Isabella. He said to come talk to you, so I will speak with you before at some point I get around to meeting with your friend Ginny.
All right.
Ginny, an interesting shortening of Genevieve.
Yes.
I prefer I think the old name would have sounded better for her. Funny what you get picking through someone's mind.
I'm sure you got my old name as well, considering you picked Isabella's.
Well, no, I didn't. I didn't dig that far on that one.
Oh, excellent. But I'm happy to share if you want to know.
If you think it matters.
It doesn't. What does a name?
Name is power.
Sometimes.
And immediately, as soon as he says it, he closes his mouth because he now immediately remembers he was told to shut
Nicholas,
up.
You don't have... give me wits awareness real quick.
Concealed objects.
No.
Okay.
Damn. 7 with a crit. Perfect roll, just about. You feel the same as Jackie and Ginny had before. There's a very subtle use of power being used here to make you very friendly to her, though knowing it's happening allows you to make your own decisions.
Nicholas at this point is more so like there's almost sort of like a reverence. Because yeah, she's a myth to him.
Is she doing it also to Jackie?
Well, yeah, you're aware of it, so you know it's there. You're not sure she controls it.
If that expends anything for you, Corey, please, you don't need to. I am more than happy to tell you whatever I can.
If what expends what?
Asserting your presence to make us more inclined to be friendly.
Well, no, unfortunately, it's not something I can shut off. It's...
Oh, well, never mind then.
It's one of those complicated things, as I said. Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
As to being a choice or not.
Yes. Well, as I said, what can I do for you?
Information, of course.
Yes.
I want to know of... I still hate the word Methuselah.
That's all right. You don't have to call them that.
It just makes me picture a stodgy old man from the Bible.
That is true.
Tell me of them.
Well, Helen. Of course, I'm sure you know where she resides. She has the current primogen of Clan Toreador, basically shacking up with her, and I figure thoroughly bound. I am certain she has some way of food supply through that avenue because otherwise more kindred would go missing in the city.
It is funny how when we hit a certain age, no one wants to talk about
the fact that you have to eat your own.
Our tastes change.
Yes, things just aren't potent enough anymore. But yes, and I am certain that she has the... I'm sorry, Setite, what they now go by, the Ministry. That is a friend of the court. The prince placed him in the court to basically keep them distracted and powerless. But he is also one of her agents.
Any of Osiris's people in town?
Not the
Oh, wait, obviously not if a Setite is allowed to stay on the council. Never mind.
Yes, obviously not. There is agents of Mithras in town, though, so.
Well. He was always a bit stuffy for my taste sometimes.
Sometimes I can understand. He has a way about him. But
He has a way of setting up cults.
that too. And weaponizing them against former lovers that betray him. But
You know you have to have a hobby.
I know, everyone does. But anyway, so as far as agents of hers, that is the most that I know of directly, are those two that are high positioned. Then, I'm not sure of lower ones. I know Abraham Dusable, who was the former regent of the Tremere Chantry, was also one of her agents, but he is no longer among us.
Oh. I expected him to still be here.
No.
Now that changes slightly my plans, but and she rubs her cheek a little.
Uh-huh.
So, I guess what I got out of Nikolai is useless.
Fascinating. And then she goes now for Menelaus. There is, as you're probably already aware, because I'm sure Roscoe was familiar with this, Kevin, the prince, Kevin Jackson, is an agent but doesn't fully realize he's an agent. There's a compulsion on him of some sort that is tied through the pendant that he wears. It appears like a tooth. Menelaus is noted to wear one exactly like it.
He still has that gift, I see.
And I know that Menelaus has also gotten his influence on Belen Anita, the Anarch leader in the just south of Southside. So he has basically the heads of both factions.
What of his child?
And that is?
Cratius.
Oh, well, if Cratius is his child, which I suspected, but I never got confirmation. Thank you for that. I fully suspect that Cratius is most certainly his agent again.
He would immediately reestablish control over his child. It's funny how we do that, isn't it?
Indeed.
Very interesting. So, I have Cratius to deal with. Menelaus.
And Cratius does have a child, Damien. I am not certain if Damien is influenced or not.
How old is this child?
He is actually young but powerful.
How young?
Storyteller, how young?
As far as you know?
He was embraced in the 50s or something?
Around that time?
I believe he was embraced around the 1950s.
19?
Yes.
He's not a consequence then?
But
I have to deal with Cratius, Menelaus, Helen. The prince is too young, I assume. Not a lot of age in the city. That is actually very helpful.
I'm glad to be of help.
How much are you glad to be of help?
Depends. I do not choose to work for those of age in this city as I already work for another.
I would assume that would be Mithras.
It is.
You speak of a familiarity that
I am descended.
not many speak with.
But I am willing to assist with information if you require it.
Oh, I require more than that. I want to destroy them.
Hmm.
What did I say when we first met? Vengeance? I'm here to cause problems. They took something from me. Something that cannot be taken back. So I am going to take, them, actually.
Excellent.
If I can, I will destroy them. If I can't, I have somewhere special to drag them. Little brother. And do you know what happens when one of our kind enter the labyrinth at the center of the abyss?
I imagine we are reduced to nothing.
No. No. We are tortured. The abyss does not let go of what it gets. And the labyrinth, the unborn, for all of their problems, they still hold a grudge against our kind. Something about the second fall. I don't understand why so much has been lost over the years.
The unborn. You speak of demons? Angels? Divine beings?
Something. They live at the heart of the labyrinth in the underworld. They are specters, monsters, considered the unborn because, unlike most down there, they never walked this earth as mortals. You could call them demons, you could call them angels, spirits. So many ways you could call them.
Interesting, because I sent one packing back to whatever hell it came from.
I'm not going to share that kind of information.
I don't expect it.
We're being friendly and all, but Lady Fate would not be happy if I gave up too much info.
I respect that.
How is it, little brother, you don't understand the geography of the underworld? Have we lost so much over the centuries?
My sire was more focused on wrongs committed on this side. I find it unfortunate that I have yet to travel there myself as of yet.
You wish to see the underworld? Do you wish to see the Tempest?
The morbid curiosity in me would say yes, but
And she laughs and looks at Jackie. He doesn't even know what he asks, and he wants to see it.
That is common with him.
I will give it thought, little brother. If I'm feeling charitable, I'll take you. And if I'm feeling even more charitable, I'll let you leave. Whims are a thing, I guess. Well, I am not going to force you to assist me. I find forcing in that way isn't very effective. You get better use out of voluntary assistance. Are you at least willing to give it some thought?
I'm willing to give it some thought.
Perfect. Well, I do appreciate your candor. I do regret. And then she grins. Well, not really, but I have to say it. I regret what I did to Isabella.
I will advise her of such.
It's so much easier sometimes just to pick one, get an understanding, and then evaluate from there how you're going to approach situations.
I can understand that. It was tactically sound.
A very odd question for you. I don't know if you know the answer. Perhaps little brother understands the answer. Why was Miss Caputo a fetter?
What? And she looks at Nicholas.
That is a new development.
Is that why
I
you were
wouldn't-
over at the other building the other night?
Oh dear, have I caused a problem? Have I stirred up trouble? I'm sorry.
You enjoy this, don't even.
We have so few enjoyable things over the years.
I was trying to speak with my sister and learned all too late that she had. Let me rephrase. Do you remember when we were all meeting and uh, I was looking at Isabella and I said something that a few of you seem to have
Yes,
taken
I recall.
personal? That was the first inkling I got
And
when
go ahead.
I was across the street, which apparently uh, I was not as hidden as I thought.
She flips
I
on
was
Oblivion Sight. I didn't see you at first. I saw her leave the room she wanted me to see.
And Corey has propped her arm up on one of your bookcases and laying her head on her arm, just staring, smiling, watching this occur.
This drama unfold. Yes.
I needed to. I was not aware that was a thing. I needed to see what had happened, why that particular choice was made.
And Corey smiles. It happens. Not often. It happens. Normally it takes great trauma to form a new fetter. Have you been traumatizing your poor sister? Well, things never change. Don't worry. Little brother, you'll learn. Some things you can't alter. You have to accept the facts.
I accept that whatever she is now, what she isn't is my sister.
Is she a wraith? She is your sister.
She is just inherently dangerous.
How old is she?
She is devolving.
Devolving. Is that what you describe her shadow taking control as? Devolving? I would describe it more as evolving. Becoming something new.
Becoming something increasingly dangerous and volatile.
We're all dangerous and volatile. When you die, if you become a spirit, think of it as chrysalis, cocoon. She was a caterpillar. Now, she gets to be a butterfly or a moth.
A death's head moth.
Well, yes, there's a certain beauty in that if you think about it. It is the nature of the underworld.
Thank you for your insight on this matter, Corey.
I mean, I'm enjoying the conversation. It's good to see that millennia may pass, but as I said, the same stories, they repeat themselves, don't they?
Always. History is cyclic like that.
That's what makes it so exciting. Sleep for a while, and then you wake up and you get the joys of discovering all the same things. And every once in a while, you can cause a problem and break the chain a bit.
I do have one question.
Well, as I have given you something you didn't know, I may ask for something in return, depending. What is your question?
What is it like to sleep that long?
That's an odd question. A very odd question. It is not sleep in the traditional sense. It is your consciousness is there. And you are aware, but in bits and pieces, you might say. Fragments. Think of it as an ever-shifting dream, where your dream is reality. With enough concentration and enough effort, you can influence things as you sleep, as I'm sure you've noticed.
Yes.
But it is peaceful until you wake. It is always a shock when you wake to see the world is different, and you have to relearn everything. Everything you knew isn't the same. Now, if you're someone like me, it's a bit easier. The underworld is full of those who have memories I can use to fill the gaps in, you might say. Sometimes, like in everything, sometimes the moths must be preyed upon by a bigger predator. It's the cycle. But the sleep is useful at times.
I appreciate your candor with that. I have not experienced it yet myself.
Oh, you are a child. Of course you haven't. You have...
I am the eldest of my compatriots.
You have a few more centuries before you feel the urge to sleep, or a few tragedies away, perhaps. It's different for all of us.
Sometimes I do feel tired.
Yeah, it'll come on you at some point. You will either grow too bored or just tired of it. Well, I think I've taken up enough of your time. Now that I have some info, I have to meet with some friends.
I appreciate your wisdom. I feel I've gotten more of an education in 5 minutes than my sire gave me in my entire unlife.
And she steps close to you and actually touches your cheek. I can give you an education, little brother. Survival's the hard part, isn't it?
Indeed.
And she turns and smiles at Jackie, and it's not a predator smile. It's
genuine.
A genuine smile. Interesting. Very interesting city you have.
Yes.
I'll be amused for a bit.
Enjoy your evening, Corey.
I will. And the day as well. And that line opens again, and she steps through it. And you see exactly what she's doing. She's opened a portal through the shroud as she steps through.
Nicholas, understand. Your sister's spirit knew me seeing you spying on my place. Summoning her, as you did, would piss me off. She set you up.
When she accompanied the Avenging Angels to, I assume, dispatch Zal, she did give me. She did let on that that was a large part of what's happening is torturing both Izzy and myself as much as she can, as it can. She also told me, oh, let me rephrase this. Before all of that, Zal gave me a piece of information that up until the last 5 minutes, I thought would be the weirdest thing I'd hear today. It appears our Giovanni friend has an apartment in this building.
What?
And he'll hand Jackie the piece of paper that Zal gave him.
You recognize the condo number. That is Miss McKenzie. She was, your understanding is a retiree in her 70s. That's her condo number. You haven't seen her lately, though.
Etienne?
Yes, ma'am.
Go downstairs and get a key for Miss Mackenzie's condo.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And he steps out of the condo to take the elevator down.
Miss Mackenzie is a retiree, about 72. Lives in this condo. Haven't seen her in a while.
When during our conversation, as I've mentioned in the past, it appears that Zal's memories have been tampered with.
Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore. She lost her head.
Some might even say this is the ultimate tampering.
Or it is actually a blessing before she lost her mind.
She had mentioned that this was the residence that she was currently staying at.
Excuse me for just a moment. And she takes out the phone and texts both Jenny, and she actually even texts Isabella and also Roscoe, basically everyone else that isn't there, and says, "Can you please come to my place tonight if available?"
Ginny responds quickly with, sure, I'm not doing anything. I'll be there in a few.
And Roscoe responds with, on the way.
And she just sends thank you. And she doesn't necessarily expect to hear from Isabella. She knows Isabella's in a state right now. So I just asked for the others to come because I want to basically ensure I can see who comes into this condo. Because if it is that fucking Giovanni bastard, I will make him ash myself.
That is entirely acceptable to me. I don't care how they die, they just need to.
But understand, Nicholas, you had the idea to come and spy on my haven without telling me. Before your sister ever set you up for me to catch you. How would you feel if I had done that to you?
People don't visit my haven. I suppose I'd be confused.
Well, I am not confused. I feel disrespected.
Understood. Disrespect was not meant.
And while I can understand that was not your meaning, I don't think I was even a consideration to you at all. And that is the disrespect.
Noted. I apologize for the disrespect.
Thank you.
Etienne comes back with a key.
Has anybody seen her lately?
No, ma'am. Guard asked if we were going to do a welfare check.
Yes, we
I
are.
told him, yeah.
I'm expecting Jenny and Roscoe. I'm going to discuss with them how we're going to handle this because Zol's Saya possibly did something, or even Zol did something, but Zol's been basically residing in this condo.
Wait,
Yes. I would love to know why no one informed me of this.
she is kindred. You know your kind have ways to avoid notice when they choose to.
Yes. But now I have found out, and someone else is going to find out what happens when I find out.
It's a lot of finding out, ma'am.
Yes, it is. So keep an ear out for Jenny and Roscoe. Let them in when they come.
So you all head down. Roscoe or Nicholas and Jackie head down to check it.
Mm-hmm.
And as you head down and you open the door, it definitely is not decorated like an old lady's apartment.
Mm-hmm.
There's taxidermied animals everywhere.
Yes, Zal has been living here, and she just walks in. With her sword cane.
Okay. And you're just going to look through things to see if you can find anything?
I'm also going to be having Oblivion sight on in case there's any fucking ghosts hanging out here.
Yeah,
Okay.
same thing.
Give me wits awareness from both of you.
Mhm.
Concealed objects work, sure. Instincts, whatever.
Okay.
Two from Nicholas. Two from Jackie.
No, I am willpowering that.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
sure.
I got 4.
4 from Nicholas. 7 from Jackie. That's
What
one
a
hell of a
crit.
that's one hell of a roll. As you do Oblivion sight,
I roused for my search.
okay, and you're looking around. There's something about the doorway as you cross through it that was on the other side of the shroud. There's something odd about the doorway. You can't quite understand what you're seeing.
She is verbalizing exactly what she's seeing to Nicholas.
It's
In case
It's
he
not
doesn't
a-
see it.
it's not a thing you can describe. It's just something doesn't look right.
Something does not look right about this door. It feels like it's something that's on the other side of the shroud.
Would can I do is it where the shroud ends? Is that the one? Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Jackie's actually calling out to Etienne. Etienne, get the security footage.
Okay, Roscoe or Nicholas, you're going to roll Wits Oblivion.
And this is the first time that I've done, I think, an Oblivion with the new potency. Does that do anything?
You got a power bonus. I don't think it changed, though, for you. I'm pretty sure it didn't.
No,
Looking up
it doesn't
now.
change till 4,
Nope.
tell me.
So you get one extra
Okay.
die. That's it. But if you fail your rouse check, is I think it's a level 2 power.
Yeah, you can re-roll.
You can re-roll a failed rouse check.
So I do get +1.
You still get your +1. Yep.
Okay.
Wits Oblivion.
Oh, that's right. You have to do the Oblivion first. Nope, that did not. Sorry. It rolled on my side, but I guess it wasn't all the
Yeah,
way on the...
Didn't put it on the chat window exactly. Okay, 4. The Shroud is 6. Shroud is thinner here than you would expect. Which tells you it's not as... other places that you would expect it to be this thin side of a murder scene.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
I think your neighbor is dead.
Etienne, get the security footage.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to get it.
Thank you. And she goes looking about the condo to see if there's a body.
Okay. And as you're searching, Peter escorts Ginny and Roscoe down into the place while you're searching.
Mm-hmm.
And Etienne is still not back yet.
That's fine.
Roscoe, can you take a look at the door? Something seems off.
You're muted, Roscoe.
It's a door. I mean, it does look ajar. Is that what you... Oh, I forget. You don't get humor now.
Ginny slaps Roscoe on the, like, with the back of her hand, like on his like upper arm, like, damn, Roscoe, that was cold.
For the record, I understand humor. It just wasn't funny.
Oh, fair enough.
No.
Right.
I agree. So, Roscoe, what are you going to do? You going to slap it with Sense the Unseen?
Yes, I am.
Or the touch?
Let's start with one, work to the other.
All right, let's sense the unseen first.
Okay. Which is resolve all specs, and then you get a bonus die, of course. And we'll see what you get.
As Jackie comes out of one room that she's been looking into and didn't find anything, she comes out. My tenant here has not been seen in some time, and as you can tell, Zol set up shop. Without my knowledge.
Roscoe got 6.
And she is now beheaded in a cemetery down in the medical district.
Damn. Lived that goth life, went out with that goth life. At least she was committed to it. Also, no offense, this is kind of weird in here. I didn't know we were going to be hanging out at like Ripley's Believe It or Not. But...
Yeah. Help me, I'm the woman who rented here was like 72 years old. And she hasn't been seen in a time. I'm waiting on Etienne to come back with security footage, but I'm inspecting to see if I can find a body somewhere. Because as far as I know, nothing suspicious came out of here.
Yeah. I'll help you look around then.
Thank you.
Since I don't think I can really do a whole lot of anything else. So Ginny will flip on her Eyes of the Beast and start kind of opening stuff and looking through things.
If there was no lady here, you can't tell. Other than...
I bet there's clothes in the closet.
No, there's no clothes. That's all gone. You get whiffs of... I hate describing it this way, but it's the only way to do it. Old lady smell.
Old lady smell, old lady perfume.
Old perfume every once in a while.
To be fair, that could just be Zhao. So...
It's Red Door by Elizabeth Arden.
So actually, while we're looking around, I also want to throw on Binding Fetter because I want to see if Zhao would have maybe held on to something. If this late, do we know for a fact that this old woman was real and here?
Yes.
Okay, then. Well, no, I just
Yes.
whether or not it's one of
She's
those. Like,
been
it's a
living
fake.
here for years.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around to see if there are any fetters that Zhao may have held on to.
None. Nothing even remotely like a feather.
Interesting.
Nicholas, I was looking at the door. It looks like it's been warded, but not quite. It seems like it's kind of masked by oblivion. I'm gonna touch it and maybe get some more information.
You had 6?
Mhm.
It was the nearest guess on the structure. The oddest part is when you go to touch it, the oblivion almost swirls away from it in some ways, like it's a cloud that hangs over it. So you get better glimpses at what you're looking at. A warning ward, perhaps, something that would tell somebody it was crossed is your best guess. You had a lot of successes. I'll give you some stuff for that.
It's well, it feels like it might be something like a warning word, like if someone crosses it. But I can't tell who it warns.
I assume the asshole in the white suit.
Can I
If he's
go ahead.
if he's been keeping tabs on her, because amazingly he knows whenever I speak with her.
I would like the spirits touch the door frame.
Okay. Now this will be fun. Now you're going to roll, let's see, what is it on Spirits Touch? Intelligence all specs, and then don't forget the rouse after that. 5 with a success, not bad. You going to blow some more willpower, or are you done using willpower for tonight?
I'll do one more tonight.
Okay.
Just because.
Yeah,
Okay.
roll 3 dice, that's it. Because it won't let you use the willpower button.
Yeah, because you did the routes after.
Okay.
So just roll 3 and let's see what you get. You have 6 successes. As you push back in the door, the first thing you feel confusion at first. It's one of the biggest emotions in this room. But as you push a little further back, you notice that there's a pattern. There is confusion. And then there is a sense of purpose, a sense of resolve, a sense of knowing about yourself, about someone's self. And then confusion and not knowing anymore. It repeats off and on through it. And then as you push further back, you feel the pain of someone panicking as they're being drained of blood. And then you push back into a woman living her life in retirement, enjoying her time in retirement.
Okay. Well, getting a lot off of this one this time. Can I tell the alternating periods of confusion and certainty? Can I tell if it's like when someone's passing in or out through the door?
No, it happened. You had 6? No, that was coming from the person
in the room?
Who was living in the room?
Okay. I it's a little confusing. I mean, well, let's say for the person who is living in here, I can't tell who exactly, but starting from the present going back, there are alternating periods of confusion and then certainty of um, identity and purpose, and it flips back and forth between the two. Um, then as I go much further back, there's a feeling I can feel the pain of someone being drained of all their blood. And then just before that, it's just the normal day-to-day routine of someone living their life in retirement.
I know Zhao was having her memory tampered with. That may account for the periods of confusion and purpose if her mind was being repeatedly altered.
Jackie turns as she walks out of the room and she catches this conversation. She has this very hard, steely gaze to her eyes and looks at Nicholas and says, "Can you reinforce the shroud?"
So Nicholas will sit down, take his ritual bag, and he will start working on knitting the shroud.
Thank you. Because I want to make sure when that asshole shows up, he can't call backup.
Yeah, knit the veil.
Knit the veil, yeah, sorry.
Okay. Okay. So you're going to work on that.
Mhm.
Etienne comes back in the room. Something's been done with the tapes, ma'am. They work. We have all the footage. But there's periods of sections have been erased selectively. Before dawn, after nightfall. Once or twice between the two. Now, as far as I know, the nature of how we have it set up down there, it's not easy to delete it.
It might be easier when you have ghosts at your disposal.
Can ghosts do that, ma'am?
Probably. They seem to be able to do a lot of things.
Yeah, because the way it's designed is you can play back, but there's no. It's not like you can just go in and delete and edit a file. It's self-contained that way for a reason.
Right. Zol was living here. She killed our resident. There's a ward on the door that warns someone if it's crossed. I imagined her sire's going to show up. To remove evidence that she was here. And when he does, I am going to destroy him.
Sounds perfect to me.
This goes beyond mere disrespect. I need some way to know if he has ghosts that are able to tamper with fucking video footage. That leaves me blind. I need some way to know he's here. Roscoe, is there anything that blood sorcery can do for that?
Other than stabbing him with poisoned ichor from my veins to keep him from ever leaving.
What about your little, the rat you make?
Oh, that the Sanguine Watcher. It'll keep an eye on the place, sure. If
Do you have to come back to like refresh it or redo it?
Yeah, it only
You'd like-
lasts from until the next morning, so you'd have to come at the start of each night and refresh it.
Okay. I'd have to do it, make a new one each night.
You are welcome to come here to do so.
Okay.
Because I need to know the minute he walks into this room.
That I can do.
Thank you. That will be very helpful. Because if he has his ghost army able to fuck with our tapes and our video surveillance, that's the only thing I can rely on.
And I guess Roscoe said about starting the ritual to make one right now.
Thank you, Roscoe.
Jenny, you were looking around with Eyes of the Beast. Trying to think. You do see, I'm going into the gangrel thing. There, you do find something that strikes you as odd. You don't know why they're there, but you do find there's dead beetles in the place for some reason. Not many of them. A few. Normally, they're in places where they wouldn't be noticed.
I'm Jackie. I'm assuming you didn't get the place fumigated.
Oh,
Well,
yes, yes, of course. Why?
Recently?
It is done routinely.
I mean, how routinely?
Typically every spring and every fall.
Okay, well, there's a bunch of like dead beetles around in like behind stuff. Like they're just scattered around in this place. And I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Jackie goes to the kitchen and looks for like, I know there's bound to be something like Tupperware or fucking Ziploc bags or something. And she grabs something to put these beetles in. And she gives Jenny a bag and she follows Jenny with a bag. And she says, let's collect them because if they are tied to any kind of rituals or anything that they can fucking do, they are getting out of here.
Sounds good. I'll double check some places I've been through to
Okay. And
see, I'm trying to think. Who all sees as Jackie gets it in the Tupperware? Who takes a look at it? I'm just curious. Does everyone look at it? Does only certain people?
Roscoe will look.
Once, Nicholas will look once he's able to do so.
once I collect them, I'll bring them out for people to look.
Intelligence, medicine, maybe for Nicholas, sure. Or occult, if anyone wants to roll intelligence occult, they can roll that. Four from Nicholas, three.
5 from Jackie with a
5
messy
from
crit.
Jackie. Oh, Nicholas got a 6. Okay.
Yep, 5 with a crit from Jackie.
Okay, 5 with a crit.
Messy crit.
Mm.
Don't understand. She's probably very upset about this shit.
I know. Given Nicholas being the clan of death, I'm going to give it to him, actually.
That's fine.
I'm assuming these are flesh-eating beetles.
They're scarab beetles, but they're too small to be scarab beetles, but they're scarab beetles.
Interesting.
What is so interesting?
They're scarabs, but smaller than they should be. Does that register as anything other than
Other than flesh-eating beetles?
I mean, scarabs are linked to the underworld. You know that.
Yeah, that too.
well, yeah, but I'm not surprised
You've
to
never
see
seen
those
one
in,
that small.
yeah, it's weird that they're that small. They're usually bigger.
Well, they are about to be very crispy because they are going to be incinerated. And once Jenny comes out with her collection, she hands them off to Etienne.
Okay.
Burn them.
Yes, ma'am.
How is the shroud here now, Nicholas?
It's been a bit. I'll assume he was as successful. Because if not, he could just keep trying it.
Yeah.
He'll get it right eventually and strengthen it a bit.
Yeah, no, considering that's the least he can do after annoying the ever-loving piss out of her. Yeah, he would just keep going until...
Until he gets it? Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Truly make it as strong as you can. Because I really want it difficult for the spirits to pass through.
That being said, considering our friend earlier, would you like me to reinforce your building as well?
Yes.
Or your apartment as well?
Yes.
Yeah, so once he's done doing that in this apartment, he'll go upstairs and do the same thing in
Okay.
Jackie's.
And so there's a little rat made out of blood.
Oh, yeah. Climbs out of the bowl after he's poured it in the bowl and done his part. Yeah, there's a little blood rat. That oddly enough doesn't leave bloody footprints, which is, good.
It's not that Jackie would really care if it did at this point.
Yeah, but it'd be kind of obvious bloody footprints everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I assume Roscoe just has it perched up hiding amongst the taxidermied animals somewhere.
Right. Yeah. Just, unobtrusive, keeping an eye on everything.
And since it's a blood rat, it doesn't move, it doesn't twitch, there's nothing that gives it away. It just sits there.
And if it's behind stuff, you probably don't even see it.
You wouldn't at first.
Mm-mm. Thank you, and thank you, Jenny, for helping me search.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I am very concerned at what happened to my tenant, though. If she did not get proper burial, that is horrible.
I understand where you're coming from, but I feel like in our line of unlife, there's times where people don't always get the
I
respect
understand
they might
that,
deserve.
but I generally reserve that for the assholes.
Well,
I don't generally allow assholes to be my tenants. She walks out of the condo.
Ginny's just like standing there, kind of just shrugs, like, I don't know what you want me to say.
Jackie's not having a great night. Okay, so we'll head back up to my place.
Okay.
And Corey has come to speak with myself and Roscoe. And Nicholas, since he was here. She will probably come visit you, Jenny, at some point, but I'm not sure what else she really needs to know because I gave her all the information that I possibly could think of.
Oh, I know why she's going to visit me. Wink.
She does have a sense of humor. I'll give her that.
That's good.
But I went to see Winnetka tonight. I wanted to know where he stood with the Praxis bullshit. And he says he'll do whatever is best for the tower and for the city. He's non-committal. But he's definitely not going to support Loden. So it's going to be between Maxwell and Kevin for his loyalty, depending on, basically, who proves their worth. And Andre was there, of course. He is very pissed because I have been interfering with his ability to do business in this city. Telling everyone the truth, that he doesn't uphold deals. Winnetka offered to make a deal with me to stop. Asked what he could give me. And I said, from you, nothing has to come from him. And I said, but if you want to do something, get him to leave this city, and I will stop. He can do his business by proxy. Winnetka said, well, at least I tried. He says, I'm having to use a lot of my own favors and influence to get his deals done. And I said, well, he's going to owe you a lot, isn't he? And Winnetka, like, yeah. And I said, then make him your bitch. And I walked out. But I told Winnetka exactly why, because he wanted to know the story from me. Because the story he heard from Andre had gaps, holes that he could suss. So I told him the truth, all of it. He's a spy master, he'd find out eventually anyway. Might as well come from the horse's mouth, yes? So needless to say, I'm sure he believed me after I told him. And he laughed when I told him to make Andre his bitch. And when Corey visited Roscoe, she pushed Samantha through the shroud.
Yeah.
No telling when she'll come back.
No clue at all. Only that she will come back. Not with no guarantees on her condition.
Or temperament.
Yeah, yeah. That's goes without saying.
Be very careful, Roscoe.
Oh, Roscoe, you're missing out on the perfect opportunity here. It's the classic trope. She comes back injured and hurt, and you're there to be strong and help her get back on her feet and nurse her back like she nursed you back with the proper application of suction.
I don't think that's quite how that works, but okay.
You never know, Roscoe. Sometimes you got to experiment. Get a little weird, figure out things for yourself.
We'll see when she gets back.
Well, you all are welcome to stay as long as you wish, but that is really what I needed your assistance with this evening. I apologize. I pride myself on the security of my haven. I offer this building to those that are in need of hospitality. And the fact that my haven has been violated by that fucking Giovanni has set me off. Do not expect to sneak into a queen's castle and survive it.
Speaking of which, I need to make sure I have arrangements to get in each night.
Absolutely. Either Etienne or Peter will ensure that you are met when you arrive.
Okay.
To be escorted in. Absolutely. And Nicholas, you are welcome to stay here as long as you need to do your reinforcement work.
Understood. Won't be a moment longer.
Thank you. Take whatever time you need. And Jackie excuses herself and actually goes to her study where she can just try to refocus and center herself a little bit.
As the coterie goes their separate ways, I think we've put them through enough trauma for one night. This is the end of season 3, episode 10. Or sorry, season 10, episode 3. That would have been interesting, wouldn't it?
We're going back.
I don't do time travel in mine, so you're safe.
I was going to say, wait, does that mean I get to be Lamar?
Season 3? No, you get to be Eleanor.
Ooh, even better.
Yeah, just saying. Of course, thank you to the players. Thank you to the viewers. Shit's getting dangerous in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
But it's getting interesting. Things are ramping up. We'll see how the coterie deals with this shit going on. And of course, everyone gets their 3 XP because I'm done trying to fight y'all. Y'all just going to vote for everyone anyway. What is it? Asking y'all to keep beating your head against just posting everyone for who gets the XP is just kind of wasting people's time. So fuck it. Y'all made it a 3 XP game. Y'all can suck it. Suck from the sweet teat of experience. I get it.
That's right.
Yep. If you want to join us on the Discord, everybody, this is where we talk about the shows. This is where we cast our shows from. And
just generally shoot the shit.
Yeah, and hang out. We do Zoom hangouts right now. It's every other week.
Just been busy.
Yeah, things are tough, and Mama and I need our
downtime when we can get
our downtime and breaks and spoon resets before Roscoe down there sends us another whole box of random spoons just because he does that.
That I will stab him with.
Gonna cut his heart out with a spoon. So join us on the Discord. Trust me, we've got a good crowd over there. If you want to catch our back episodes, go to YouTube. Back episodes are on YouTube. There's lots of them. Boy, there's a lot of Windy City on there too, but there's a lot of everything. We've done so many shows.
So much.
Yeah.
Like most of the World of Darkness titles, a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse games, and a variety of other games as well.
Yep. September will mark 4 years of us doing constant content.
Yeah.
Multiple streams a week. Some weeks, other weeks, 1 stream a week. But trust me, we've got getting over 3 years of content nonstop. So check out our YouTube. Let's see. I'm trying to go through, catch out our amazing friends. The Ivy Raven, when she chooses to stream, it's her choice. She streams when she feels like it. The RPG Table, it's Junie. You can catch her on Tuesday nights with us with Scion, but she's got her own channel where they do vampires. Though I think they're on season break now because their April Fool's episode was their season break.
Yeah.
Ravnos Archon, who
runs multiple games a week.
Runs multiple games a week on his channel, and you see him on our channel, Mage and other games from time to time. He'll be in the Dark Ages game, as a matter of fact. So check out the back content. Let's see. And the other friends of ours down here. I'm trying to go through. My brain has stopped functioning all of a sudden. You want to get your merch? Get your Windy City merch. Mischievous Red, you can pop over. She's not here. Go find out why.
She streams when she can.
You know, she streams when she can.
Mm-hmm.
I know she's on her channel, and there's another channel, but just check out Mischievous Red. You can get all her info there.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get our merch? Get your Windy City merch. We got a backlog of some merch stuff to do that we haven't gotten to yet, but I'm sure we'll get to it eventually. Things have just been busy.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as we love doing content, let's be fair, we have full-time jobs. The content is our part-time thing, and we run out of hours quite a bit.
Yeah.
If you want to give something to the players, bits and donation to go to the players, not to the studio. It's a way to give back to them. If you want to give to the studio, you can donate on through KoFi. You can subscribe on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment on the video. All that kind of stuff draws up engagement, and it might make us make, we had a season break. So we dropped down to $18 because of our season break last month. $15 last month because we were on season break. So you might drive us back up to a whole $18 again. Yay! We won't get rich doing this, everybody, just so you know. But you know what we're rich in? Stories.
Yes. Yes.
So there you go.
We'd love to share with all of you.
And we made a lot of good friends on our Discord.
Yes,
so
we have.
I'm going to let my wife give the schedule because I know we have other games going this week.
Yes, we do. So coming up on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, join myself, Genevieve and Khadijah, Lanhi, and Unconscious Celestial with Zach Rules for Scion, 0 to Hero. Well, we at least know what pantheons we're from now. And one of us knows who the daddy is.
And watch out for the killer heel throwing, because goddamn.
And we met a werecrow.
Werecrow, their crow.
Yeah, werecrow, their crow, which was pretty awesome. So, and now we're all hanging out at a bar that is patronized by Scions to try to figure out what the fuck this existence is. So join us Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern where we pick up with that. And of course, on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, we have the amazing European GM Tiss.
Actually, no, when this
on the
episode airs,
She doesn't have one?
she doesn't have one on the 15th because we air this on the 9th.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She's off on the 15th.
My mistake. It always messes me up recording on a Thursday. But yeah, so forgive me. On Saturday, there will be no stream that I am aware of at this time because Tiss is taking a little break. But on Sunday, of course, we will be right back here at 5 p.m. Eastern with episode 4 of season 10 of Windy City After Dark.
We'll do a surprise Windy City Saturday stream where we don't actually play Vampire. We just do our pre-stream chat that we always do while we're getting ready to play. And that'll be the whole stream of it, just us sitting there talking, shooting the shit. A real peek behind the scenes, everybody.
It's
Don't make promises you can't keep.
I know
Yeah.
I'll be busy that Saturday.
I was gonna say. Some of it's also kind of raunchy.
It
but
gets
that's-
raunchy, y'all.
Yeah, the behind the scenes chat can
we're
break.
adult.
I would say it can break Twitch TOS from time to time for sure.
Hey, if suction is the high bar on Twitch, woof.
Sometimes there's a lot of sucking going on around here.
That's true.
All right.
Look, just center square, bottom row.
Yep.
Take us out, Shanky.
As always, everybody, mental health. We take that very seriously at McStabber Studios. Please take the mental health of those around you seriously. Take your own mental health seriously. Check in on friends, family, loved ones, people you haven't heard from. Fuck it. Check in on people you have heard from. Just check in on people, make sure they're okay. A lot of people aren't, and people are good at masking. Masking allows them to appear okay when they're really not. So please check in and reach out. And if you suffer from mental health issues, first of all, you don't have to suffer alone. Reach out to those around you to get the support you need. And I know that's tough for a lot of people. So if you don't feel you have people you can reach out to, in chat's a list of numbers. You can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Professional will be on the other end of the line to help you out because we're living in a pretty dark and scary time. Dark enough that World of Darkness honestly is less fucked up than the real world. So please take care of your mental health. It's okay to not be okay, but mental health is very important. Please do what you have to get the support you need. And don't suffer it alone. That's straight from the heart from Shanky. And now I can turn it over to my wife for her portion as we exit this particular episode.
Y'all know Brad and I are both nurses. Take care of your health, get your vaccines, get your preventative screenings done, because if you overdo on those, you increase your risk of not getting early detection for any cancers that could kill you. So please get your screenings done. And if you're not feeling well, get checked out. Make sure you go and actually get the care you need, because the body and mind all go together, y'all. All go together. And I'm going to get off of that soapbox and step right up on another. Fuck the Republican Party. In Tennessee, 2 elected Democrat representatives were expelled today. They tried to expel 3. funny how the two they expelled were black men.
The one they didn't even, when asked afterwards why she wasn't expelled, she goes, I can give you one guess. I'm white.
Exactly.
She said it.
Yeah. Racism alive and well in the United States. And the fascists are fucking off the rails.
Fucking Tennessee.
In fucking Tennessee. In Kansas. They overruled the governor's veto on checking children's genitals in order to play sports. The Republican Party is obsessed with the genitals on people. Obsessed with them. Especially on children, because they fucking protect pedophiles, not just pedophiles, but also abusers. Because pedophiles are different than abusers, y'all. Pedophiles realize what they're doing is wrong and hate themselves for it. Abusers don't give a shit. And the GOP protects them, are them. They are the fucking predators, and they project their shit onto others. It's always been projection as far back as I can remember. It ain't your fucking drag queens. It ain't your fucking LGBTQIA folks. It ain't your fucking trans folks doing it. Oh no. It's your leaders in your church. It's your leaders in the fucking schools. It's your leaders in the fucking government doing it. And they're all Republican and white, male, and cisgender. Enough is enough. Elections are coming up next year. For real, it's every 2 years, y'all. Every 2 years. And you better vote in every fucking election. If you are not registered and you are a liberal boomer, which are rare, but they do exist. They're like fucking unicorns. Gen X, millennial, exennial, the one in between those two. The fucking Gen Z. Gen Z is coming of age to vote. Okay, the youngest of them are typically turning 18 within the next few months, up to just before the election, okay? Make sure you register to vote as soon as you can and turn up, whether it's mail-in or whether it's in person or early voting. Turn the fuck up. That's the assignment. You better understand it. We all have to show up for muster now. No more apathy. It is time to get angry and stay fucking angry because enough is enough. Said with love from a place of abject horror.
Yeah, I do thank you all for coming. And I thank my players for the tolerating the shit I'm putting you through. Sorry, Nicholas.
Kill me. Bring it.
Just saying. Good night, everybody.